1553 Mallorca Drive. So this is spelled Mallorca, unlike the Spain Majorca, Majorca. All right, so here's the community pool. It's pretty good when you come into regards of the vicinity, but I did want to cover this drawback right away. So probably the second biggest drawback is that pretty much half the community, when they come in, are going to be driving past the house, right? Because you're right here at the entrance. The other half will go the other way. We got an old door, so I'm not saying it doesn't work. We'll see if it works when we get in there. But old door, I do see that, you know, the neighbors have a new door, so I'm sure that the HOA will allow for that to happen. I've got a garage door guy. His name's Pedro. He's pretty awesome. First things first, nice big solid front door. You've got space to do a bigger door if you would like to do that, like a big pivot door. You got space up and to the left. So if you ever wanted to upgrade, we've got the aluminum windows. Seems like they're working, and also, you know, the vicinity to the coast here, I wouldn't expect that you're gonna have a whole lot of need for air conditioning and heat and whatnot. The finish on the ceiling is just absolutely gorgeous. Exposed wood that's stained and maintained really well. This flooring here, I think I've only ever seen this a couple of times, and it wasn't in residential property here in San Diego. But you've got wood veins in a cross section, you know, a diagonal pattern with the faux brick on the top. It just comes through really warm and welcoming. Big, huge vaulted ceilings. Place feels giant when you first walk in. And you got these pillars here for some nice aesthetic appeal. If you wanted to kill the pillars, you could. I'm telling you, don't kill this jut out left and right if you do, because you'll end up having to manipulate the flooring and it'll look kind of odd, those squares there. All right, so kitchen, no door, just a doorway, just an opening to the both sides of it. Plenty of counter space. This here is not attached, so you can do whatever you want in this corner. You can do a little sitting table for two-topper, or put furniture like they did, or you can even call the cabinet people and we can see what it looks like to get some built-ins right there for more space, more storage, maybe a pantry or something like that. All right, again, the exposed beams in here. It's just really hard to capture in a video. And while you're here doing your dishes, look at your beautiful view here. You know, you can have somebody at the sink and they can see out there at the barbecue. You still feel like you're a part of the party. All right, so the master suite, beautiful vaulted ceilings with the beautiful wood again. Pretty tasteful on the fan choice there. You've got a fireplace in here. This is a wood burning fireplace, so we would want to go ahead and have a wood burning inspection done. You've got the smaller closet over here. It's about a 5 foot, maybe a 4 foot opening there. And then here is that 6 or 7 foot opening for the hers. Goes back to standard, you know, 24 inches. And this one here is a bit of a walk-in. So like storage space wise, probably pretty similar. So bathrooms is what they didn't do. They did the hardware. So the faucets look new, the lighting looks new, but they didn't replace this. This is that Corian kind of plastic resin. Nice big deep tub, but I will say that it's probably about the same age as the home. And then you've got your water closet here, so somebody could be relieving themselves there while another person is still brushing their teeth and taking a shower. But one of the drawbacks, I've shopped with people that don't like that there's no door into the bathroom. Another drawback is the carpet that goes all the way to the bathtub. You know, that could end up causing some issues if you're messy or sloppy about it. You got the linen closet or just coat closet here. This is right by the stairs. Not right when you come in, but you know, pretty close to when you come in. I like that they put the little mini door in the half bath so that it's not a mini door out to the living space. And then this bathroom here, looks like they kept the original cabinets, painted them with tasteful gray, painted the walls the same, so it kind of like feels good in here. It doesn't feel like super small and choppy, but it is pretty small. All right, and then we got the gas fireplace over there. I don't know if it's gas starting or because they do have some logs staged there. Winding staircase. Something I want to point out here is you don't see it very often. A nice finishing touch with the wood left and right and the permanent carpet here. Feels like a runner. Super cool, but it's permanent. All right, the whole upstairs is carpet except for the one bathroom. So we've got this study, which would be double doors, but they've taken the doors off. I don't know if they're in the garage, but if they're not, you get new doors. And something about this room here is that you've got your own balcony off of this room, and then you also have this opening here that it's like, okay honey, I'll be right down. All right, so this would be a good office space. They also did the wainscoting a few feet up the wall. Very tasteful, and the wainscoting goes down the staircase as well. So all you have to do is the bathrooms eventually and the windows, probably maybe some new closet doors, because these are kind of the older aluminum closet doors. This room here has pretty standard, but on the bigger end of standard for size of the room, size of the closet. You got your linen, you could have your own things staged here. Again, decent closet. This bedroom's a little smaller than the one that we just looked at, but still pretty decent size. Like that, there's a queen bed. So you've got side left and right still. Maybe that's a full. I think that's a full bed. Yeah. All right. So that's the upstairs. Now let's get out to the backyard. When I'm looking at the eaves on the outside, I'm seeing that the lower eaves look like they've been treated and painted here recently, but the second story eaves, not so much. We'll get to that in a second. This barbecue grill is a built-in. Come under here, and you've got permanently piped gas. As long as the state is providing gas, you'll have gas to your barbecue. The inside of the grill looks like it's in pretty decent shape. I'm not seeing a whole lot of reason to think that it doesn't work or that it needs to be replaced. You got a small sink and looks like a spot for a refrigerator there. Yeah, you're gonna need a new fridge. The inside's looking a little old and discolored, but man, this backyard is super private, super enjoyable. Absolutely love it. You know, this house, I almost want to call my other buyer, Curtis, and be like, yo, F600, what about $1 million? Because this hits all of his needs right here. I'll probably send this video to him too. Just after you've decided that you're not gonna get it, of course. All right, so here we can climb up the tree. They've got a couple platforms and a couple pieces of wood. Looks like the kiddos were doing that. I wouldn't suggest letting strangers do it. The fence needs some love and attention. I'm sure that the seller doesn't want to hear it. Got to work with the neighbor next door and or the HOA, figure out what to do about that. But yeah, we're even falling over there. I'm surprised that that next door neighbor over there is not kind of complaining about that. You see how it's falling over? Yeah, it's rough, man. And it's that big old banana tree needs to be cut back because that's the one that's pushed that fence over. Look at there, man, that's rough. All right, so you're near the pool, you're near the entrance. You got the old garage door, you've got aluminum sliders, you got aluminum windows. Oh yeah, let me show you the eaves. So you see how these eaves are in pretty good shape. You don't see any cracking or peeling or anything, right? But if we go up, here, let me give you the right way and the discolored and cracking way. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope that this house meets your criteria and we can go ahead and put in a competitive offer. We're probably going to be told to kick rocks if we ask them to do anything about the fence. In our loan, in using a VA loan, we'll definitely write in there that we have to get The termite clearance, you know, it's not guaranteed that the seller is going to pay for it because it's a negotiable item, but we can include it in our offer that the seller would pay for the termite clearance, and that would make it to where they'll fix the eaves if that needs to be fixed. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Catch you on the next one.